change. The word alone can be challenging. How do we get started? Where will the change lead? Don't sit there and worry about it. Be the change. Welcome to Be the Change Radio. Host Kristina Bloom has been a professional psychic and spiritual advisor for 20 years, offering psychic and mediumship readings for individuals and groups. She also teaches several classes in psychic development and metaphysics. In addition, she is an author who has published 2 books so far and is the co-owner of Moonbow Publications and Productions, LLC. Are you ready for that change now? Here is your host of Be the Change Radio, Kristina Bloom.
Hey, sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. It's a Monday. It's a really Monday. So welcome to Be the Change Radio on WLTK-DB.com. I am not muted. Don't know where my sound went because it's Monday. Let's see. I don't know if anyone can hear. Okay, my mute button is not pushed, and I'm hoping that people can hear me. I am coming to you an hour early because I'm in the Eastern time zone this week. I'm in Northern New York. Well, actually, right now I'm actually in upstate New York in Albany, but I will be in Northern New York this weekend at the Darkwater Paranormal Conference, and that is in Plattsburgh. So I'm going to be there all weekend this weekend doing readings. I'll be doing a presentation. I'm actually going to be channeling the Pleiadian High Council. I don't have a time on that yet, but I will be posting it on my Facebook page. And from there, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. That whole conference is going to be fun. I am super excited about that. And I had a really fun weekend. Logan, my co-host for the Paranormal Room, and I came up to New York, and we worked with the Adirondack Paranormal Society, and we did a haunted house. It's a carnival themed haunted house over the weekend, and actually over the past 2 weekends I did it. We were only involved one weekend. We had so much fun hanging out with like the most amazing group of people. They were just so much fun. The Adirondack Park Paranormal Society, and I'm a member of that. And so we kicked in on that, and we were having a lot of fun, and we got to hang out with some cool people and do some good in the world. And I just wanted to go over my schedule real quick, and I'm a little bit disorganized because I'm not in my own office and a little bit disoriented. So thank you for sticking with me. We will actually be having more of the team on the Paranormal Room tonight, discussing some of their favorite investigations and their own personal experiences with some of the investigations that they've done. And I'm super excited to do that. I wanted to also let people know that I had a dragon class scheduled for this coming Thursday online, but I had to cancel it because we were having some technical difficulties with an issue and some switching around. Let's see. The next week I will have Frankie Frank from the Dark Waters Paranormal Conference. He will be my guest next week. So I will still be an hour early next week and broadcasting from Plattsburgh, New York. So that will be fun. And let's see, after that, oh yeah, October 29th in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, the Witches Ball. I will be there. I will be doing readings during the day. We'll be having a whole lot of fun at night. There's tickets and all kinds of stuff. You can go to shamwitch.com to buy tickets for that, and there's different levels of tickets that you can buy for different events throughout the day. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. And then the next day, I am going to be doing a fair in La Crosse with Refined Divine. So back to back, both costumes. We're going to have costumes on both of them. The weekend after that, on November 5th, I will be in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, doing the Northwoods Expo Mind, Body, Spirit Fair. And the weekend following that is a women's retreat in Vermont. The weekend following that is the Autumn Psychic Fair. Get back in Eau Claire again at 29 Pines. And on the 27th, Refined Divine will be having another fair. And that one will be... I didn't even put it down. I'm guessing it's in La Crosse area, but I'm going to have to look that up for you later. So that is my schedule through November. I do have a couple things going on also in December. Soul and Synergy Fair in Rice Lake, Wisconsin on December 10th. So lots and lots of fun stuff coming up. And now that we have gone through my calendar, which you can look /One Spirit Connection, and just go to the events link and you can look all of that up there. So without further ado, though, I am going to bring out some APS members, Adirondack Park Paranormal Society members, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of fun stuff, doing what we do. Can you hear me, ladies?
We can hear you just fine.
Awesome. Jen has her camera off. I put that out there as an option, so she's just choosing not to be seen today, which is cool because we can still hear her. All right. So, all right. Everybody sounds good. Todd confirmed that for me. And
it's still muted.
What's muted?
Jen's still muted.
Oh, Jen is muted. Okay. Jen, unmute.
Not on your side, on her side.
I know. Jen needs to unmute herself. It's on the bottom of your screen, below your picture, kind of, or right below Susie, actually.
I'm going to send her a text.
Oh, you know what? She might have went to the bathroom.
I was going to say she might not even be in front of the screen right now. She's probably getting something to drink.
All right. That's cool. We'll just start without her.
We'll send her a text and say, hey, girl.
You're on the air. You know what? This has been a crazy Monday. It started out like we had so much fun this morning. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys this morning and goofing off. And yeah. So what this show is about doing good things in the world. And I love apps. I joined apps for a reason. And that's because you guys do good things in the world.
We try. We really do.
Yeah.
We try. It's a process.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us about the event this weekend, or the last 2 weekends, the haunted house. Tell me about that.
It's something we start working on in the summertime before the summer even hits sometimes, and it is something we are all excited about. And
it's a fundraiser.
It's a fundraiser we do for the local area. I think last couple of years we've done the snack pack program.
Right.
A couple of years before that, we did a fundraiser for a child who had terminal cancer, for the medical expenses for the family. Years before that was for...
it's either the local food pantries or something, whatever is needed in that community where we're hosting the haunted house. It's not always the same community. And the goal is 75% of our proceeds goes to that.
Even more than that. Sometimes it's 80 or 90.
Yeah. For the little girl, I think we gave up 90% to her.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, and we have raffles along with, we didn't this year, but we normally have raffles along with the haunted house. And we adjust the haunted house for the kids, for the little ones. We don't make it so scary. And for the older ones that want a good scare, we can handle that too.
Yeah.
We try. Sometimes it's harder, especially during the daytime, you have light streaming in, but we do our best to give a good scare or make the kids feel not traumatized at the end of it.
Right. Scared but not traumatized.
Yes.
There's a balance in there.
There's definitely balancing. But this year we did absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy for everyone who did it. Thank you to everyone who participated this year.
Yeah. The whole team gets involved. Some of the team is, they don't necessarily do the investigations or any other part of it. They're solely there for the haunted house. And it like I said, it's a big deal for us. We all get into it. We start planning almost, I'd say within a few days afterwards, we started thinking, okay, what's the next theme? And every year there's a different theme.
Yeah. We try to keep it fresh and simple, but also we tend to get sometimes complex.
No way. No way.
Never. Especially me when it comes to makeup.
Thank you for joining us, Sylvia. I know a lot of my regular people are used to me being on an hour later, but because everybody who's going to be on tonight is East Coast or Eastern time zone, I wanted to do an hour earlier so that I could have more people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's really awesome and a great opportunity for every year to do the haunted house. This year we did it a little bit early due to not doing it this coming weekend and the weekend after due to
there's somebody getting married.
And over half of the cast of the haunted house is going to be at said wedding.
She thinks she's important.
So because we're family. Like, it's a second family that this group is. And Kristina, welcome to the family, by the way.
Thank you.
Good luck. We're crazy.
You can handle our crazy on haunted house. You can handle our crazy anytime.
May the odds be ever in your favor, right?
That's right.
You've heard my clown voice. I can get kind of crazy. Hence, Crazy the Clown.
Yes. She does a great Crazy the Clown, too.
Yeah, she does most of our makeup. And she could do the scars and the latex and stuff like that. The hair, the crazy hair that you do that make it look even creepier or wilder. But yeah, it's a whole team effort and it's a whole team decision.
Yeah.
It's not just one or two people saying, okay, we're going to do this theme this year. We put it to a vote.
And a huge shout out to Sarah, who is one of our leads in the investigation. She is a head honcho when it comes to haunted house. It is, yes, I'm also in head of charge somewhat of the haunted house, but it's her baby.
Yeah,
it truly is.
She can coordinate. She can keep 10 irons in the fire and still know what's going on.
She creates the layout, the setup. I'm just the makeup and costume person.
and both of you do your jobs very well. I have to say, I was really impressed. I was really impressed. Yeah, it's quite a production to be able to pull off something like that. And Sarah's like Wonder Woman. Like, I don't even know where you guys found her. She's just amazing. Like, no big deal. I'm going to set up the whole haunted house and I'm just going to do all of this stuff and make sure it all works. Yeah. And then I'm going to have a baby 4 weeks before the haunted house.
Yes.
It's like,
oh my God.
She is an incredible person. And
she's super
weird. She's a great researcher also. We work together on that. And for a while there, I was the only one doing research, and she came aboard, and she's just as excited about it as I am. So it's fun to have somebody else to throw things off of.
Yeah, they go in their own little world when they start doing research, and you have to be like, come back. It's over here. We have things to do.
But it works. It works.
Okay, so then I have a few more questions because I think I know the answer, but I would really like to hear from people who have been on the team a long time. I mean, I've been on 6 months, maybe 5-6 months, and I haven't gone on an investigation with you guys yet because I'm not normally in the same state you're in. So
we'll work on that.
We're working on that. Yeah, we're working on that. At least, half and half would be nice, But, so my question is, what service do you feel a paranormal team should provide as a community service, like as a paranormal team, not necessarily the fundraisers, but by doing paranormal investigations, what service does that provide to the community?
I think mainly one, don't lie. Don't make things up because you want whoever contacts you to be happy. If there is nothing there and we're able to debunk it for maybe it's an electrical issue, maybe you
EMF
have
poisoning.
and maybe it's EMF poisoning, like if you're too close to a cell tower, or when you get that creepy feeling in the basement, but the ceiling is really low, which creates a creepy feeling to begin with, and the
Right.
wiring is low because of the ceiling, and now you're getting that EMF coming off the wiring. There's your creepy feeling. It's not necessarily something there.
Or you are sitting way too close to your Wi-Fi box. That can also create issues because Wi-Fi boxes, routers do create off a EMF emission that can cause EMF poisoning if you sit too close to it.
And that being said, if we do find something, we will tell you.
Yep.
We will show you. If we have evidence, we'll show you the evidence. If you want to go another route and you want to talk to somebody else, say you wanted a room cleansing or a house cleansing, well, we have people we can direct them to. We don't do that ourselves. We have our hands full just investigating and finding out whether there is or isn't something there.
Don't forget the 3 volumes that you create with Sarah.
Oh, and then we'll do a background check on the property. We'll do a background check on the building, on past people that live there, and we will share that. We'll keep a copy for ourselves for future reference if we have to do another investigation, but we'll give you a copy of whatever we find. So we're educating whomever is calling us one way or another. That's our goal, is to educate.
There's been multiple places where we found more evidence than the historians that they hired to do on the location. I think that's 3 or 4 establishments we've done that.
Yes.
And she's even contradicted and found multiple evidences of things that they think happened. And she's like, oh, actually, it's this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And here's proof 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, 12.
Yeah. There, one investigation we did, there was a misnomer as to, this was a very old building and there had been hangings going on. Well, there was one particular hanging. The lore was that it was done in front of the jail. But in reality, it was done behind the jail because they didn't want everybody there watching. And it ended up still being a bit of a showpiece. So I was able to verify that. I come with physical evidence. It's not just me talking. I have physical evidence, whether it's newspaper reports, whether it's medical reports, depending on, like I said, the building and the situation.
Wow. So you guys really, I mean, it's like, I know because I'm on the research team, not that I've done a lot of it yet, but I have done some of the research, and I really appreciate that you have that.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. So I have another question though. So you are also the head of the psychic team, right?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of, I don't use that word on the psychic end of it.
Okay.
Because for me, it's overused.
Okay.
There's so many people out there that are psychics, and then there's the real ones, but the ones that just go around saying, oh yeah, I'm psychic. Oh, I can feel it. But they can. And they give the rest of you that are real and really have situations and can really feel what's going on, a bad name.
Okay.
So, yeah. So intuitive, I don't mind using that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll work with that one at this point. Empathic, yes, that's a little overused too, but I can use that too.
Right. Well, I don't know that there's another word for empathic. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
it's kind of its own category, and
yes.
So, I know that in the area where I normally am in Wisconsin, there are teams that won't even allow psychics on their team. Like they don't want intuitives.
Well, we didn't for a long time because there's so many people that, have the self-proclaimed title.
Right.
And, so, we didn't have anybody that was really, honestly talented.
Okay.
And we're not going to put somebody out there that says they have a gift and can't back it up.
Right.
So, in the process of meeting other people, and I'll say between Sarah and I know when Sarah came aboard, she has some incredible gifts. And we have a lady down in Utica or near Utica, Sandy. She has incredible gifts. And then, so now we've got some legit stuff going on. And I've done some of this. I've dabbled in it for, off and on over the years. So that's kind of where I kind of ended up being in charge. I didn't really want to be, but I am.
Okay.
It's one of those, well, since you have experience, you're going to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. But,
Oh, there's Jen.
and
I'm
there's
back.
Jen,
Sorry
and
about that.
Jen has her own gifts as well. So
Yeah.
we have worked together in a group.
And because I'm so young, I'm learning my gifts as I'm going through, because I started out with nothing. And as we're going through different investigations, each investigation,
Yeah.
I find I have something new.
Bring on baby steps.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bring on the baby steps. Okay.
Yeah.
So Sylvia, in the comments, if you go, ladies, to the right side of your screen, you have private chat and comments. If you click on comments, you can see the comments. So Sylvia wants to know, do you have a way to screen psychics?
We do. I don't want to give away all our secrets. But
Yeah, she didn't ask for specifics. So.
we do. I'll just say we do.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a lengthy process.
We're such a tight-knit group. I will say this. We are hesitant on bringing anybody on board because we have been burned.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've had experiences in the past.
Yes, and they weren't positive ones, and we don't want to. We've worked hard to get where we are, and we don't want to ruin that. So anybody that says they want to join the team, they go through, as you know, they go through a questionnaire. We do background checks. We will test them and bring them to areas where we know there's activity, and areas that we know there isn't.
She does this, by the way, to family members just for fun. She'll like, ooh, follow
Family
me.
members. Heck.
Yes, I'm talking about myself.
Well, because I know you already have abilities, and your family, so I can, there's a little bit of leeway there. But
you test how far it's gone.
We will, yes, we'll put out tests and see how they react, because some people say they're paranormal investigators, and then they just, the slightest odd thing happens, they get scared and they run off. Okay, yeah, exactly. And we try. And this is our first road. We debunk as long as we can.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times there is a very natural reason for the creep. There's a very natural reason for the lights fluctuating. Maybe it's bad wiring. Maybe they've got a breaker that's old and it's not working as it should.
Another thing we found out.
We have the tools on board to be able to debunk that.
And
sorry, I just interrupted
you did.
So rude.
But it's normal. Another thing, like even as we go on to more investigations, we've been doing this for 10 years now. We haven't, but the team has been active for 10 years. And in one of our last few investigations, we figured out, oh, hey, with dimmable lights, if you don't have a dimmable bulb, it's going to cause flickering and issues if you don't use the wrong bulbs.
Right. I'm going to jump in here real quick. And Sylvia had another comment. So she said, that's good that you screen people. She says, I can say I'm a psychic to an extent and a practicing medium, but I would never feel comfortable doing that unless I was 100% confident myself.
And therein, yes, she's dead on. And we will not put anybody in a situation that they're not completely comfortable.
Oh, absolutely not.
Again, so we'll bring them into what we call safe places, where we know there's nothing negative. There's nothing, places that we've been in a million times. Yeah. Or that we're familiar with. When we were based in Saranac Lake, we used to use the train station. If you couldn't get anything out of that train station, you didn't belong in the field.
Another thing we do is how well we mesh together, because sometimes
personalities
don't always mesh, and it can really inflect on how an investigation is done. Yep. If you don't have that ability to communicate without words a lot, or respect, or just vibe well with somebody.
Right.
Because sometimes you can cancel that person out if you just don't have that good connection.
No, we were talking.
Are you saying something? Because if you are, you're getting run over. I couldn't hear you.
Well, I was just going to say a lot of that too has to do with safety. You need to know your team and their strengths and what they're capable of before you're out in the middle of heaven knows where.
Yes.
Where their behavior and their actions could have serious consequences.
Yeah. She's absolutely dead on. We do go to some very remote places, and we don't need to be having somebody having a meltdown we can't take them anywhere because, okay, well, now we're out here.
Yeah, we've had that happen before.
Yeah. So again, after every investigation or after every thing that we're involved with, we sit down, we have a round table, what worked, what didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody has an issue with another team member, they're safe to come to us. Okay, what's the issue? Maybe we can work it out. If we can't, we talk with both members individually. And we have had times where as a group, we have asked people not to come back because it was friction being caused and we didn't need that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of the way we work.
Yeah. And just because you have two people who are good at what they do doesn't mean that they can work well together.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And they may not have the same goal in mind that we do.
Right.
And that's important too. Go ahead, Jen.
It's a level of professionalism too. I think that's what it is. And that's one of the things that struck me about the team the most when I first joined was that, I mean, it's professional.
Yeah.
With the equipment and the ability, behavior, it's a matter of how things are run.
Yeah, we're not going to go on a property where we haven't been invited. We're not going to wander in areas. Oh, it's abandoned. We can go there. No, that's not the way we work. We find out who owns the property. Now we might inquire to the owners and say, this is what we do, and if you're interested, we'd like to provide a service to you. And we've been told no. Like, okay,
flat out no.
Just keep us in mind if you ever change your mind. Yeah. But like I said, we won't go unless we're invited.
Yeah, that's a huge thing I know for us is if it's private or public property, we will always make sure we have permission from whoever is in charge of that area.
Yeah. Even if it's abandoned, we won't go on it, like I said, until we find out where the owners are.
We'll drive by and be like, oh, I want to go there so bad.
Yeah.
But that's as far as it goes.
Yeah, we all have our bucket list too, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about that on the next show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. So I know that I was drawn to work with you guys because, first of all, I was referred to you by Hotel Saranac.
Mm-hmm.
They referred me to you because they said that you were the only team that they had come in.
Yeah,
and
we've been there twice.
Yeah, and I've stayed there a few times. What was that, Jen?
The second time was actually my first investigation, and I hadn't been on the team very long at all. And like I said, I was just impressed with the level of professionalism.
Yeah, and you rocked it out. I'll tell you.
You did amazing. Like in every
I didn't even know.
In every section you were in, you listened, you communicated well, you had great intuition on what to talk about and ask questions about.
So Jen's a teacher by trade. And one of the entities that's at the Hotel Saranac, because the Hotel Saranac was built on the foundation of an old school. And so my thought was, okay, if we're going to get in touch with the principal who we had spoke to previously, and I had encounters when I worked there with him, I said, let's use Jen and let's see if she can apply for a job. And it was instant. It was beautiful. We had a K2 meter. We had a REM pod. And obviously recorders. And ironically, the recorder stopped working, but the K2s were still going. And we had...
you forgot the dowsing rods.
And we had the dowsing rods.
We mixed old and new communication ways.
So the K2 and the dowsing rods were reacting at the exact same time, which was kind of neat to put the electronic with the old ways.
Yeah, that was the first time I had ever done anything like that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. It was. She said, "What do I do?" I said, "Keep going,
Lisa." It's absolutely
we've got a conversation going. Just keep it moving.
And Lisa, it's absolutely fascinating, especially when you're just sitting there holding the recording. You're just going back and forth, back and forth. It's like, I don't need to say anything. This is happening on its own.
It was perfect. It couldn't, he was obviously reacting positively to her. She came in polite, like she was applying for to be an English teacher. Do you have any positions open? And it lit immediately. And I said, yes, this is it. Just go.
I was holding a K2 and it was going off, and I'm like, holy cow.
Do I keep talking? Yes. As long as he's responding, you keep talking to him.
And because I was your first investigation, Jen, we kind of stuck you in multiple places, including command. And you rocked command.
We wanted to see, okay, what works? Where does she work well? Is there some specialty for her that she'll do here better.
Yeah.
Some people are better in command than they are in the field.
Just quick elaboration what command is. Command is where we have our base central. So it's where we have our DVR computer so we can see what the DVRs are seeing.
Yep.
If we notice a big event, we won't notice any little events usually in the middle of the investigation. But if we notice a big event like an apparition or something.
Or movement.
Or we notice like, hey, was that there earlier? And we'll mark it down.
And we'll call on the radio and we'll send a team up to that area if they're nearby to go take a look. And
it's also where we keep track of who's where, what are they doing, how long have they been there. Because if they've been up there for a while, we want to double check, make sure everyone's safe and all that. Yeah. Safety is a huge thing for us. Because I know there's plenty of places we've been that are very dangerous.
The physical safety, areas. The emotional safety.
Spiritual safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of those are so important. And
oh my
I know,
gosh.
like I said, I haven't been on an investigation with you guys yet, mostly because I'm not there when one happens. But I'm really looking forward to going out in the field with you guys.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well.
Absolutely. It's going to be fantastic.
I know. They're going to put me to the test, and they're going to put me in all these positions. And I'm going to go, what the heck is this electronic thing?
In all fairness, you know.
Yeah, Jen didn't know.
Well, I loved it anyway. So,
but she was a good sport about it. I mean, let's try you out here. Okay, I'm getting tired. Okay, let's take you out of the field, what I call the field, and go sit in command so you see what's going on there. See if this is what you like to do.
Jessica, you're right on time. We are talking about paranormal investigations and how to, I guess, how it serves the community and how you can serve your team by being professional and knowing what you're doing, basically.
One of the things we do after we've done several times after an investigation, we take our findings, whether it's video or audio, or physical pictures or something to that event.
Even just the history sometimes.
Yeah, even our own personal experiences.
It can be an absolute crapshoot when we go there because if they're not used to us,
sometimes
nothing
they won't
will happen.
Respond. But what we'll do a public reveal, and we did that for the Hotel Saranac, where it was coming near Halloween, and they wanted to, actually we've done that twice at the Hotel Saranac. They wanted to do something spooky for an event at the Hotel Saranac, and
we done it.
That was the perfect time to do a reveal, and people came in. They asked lots of questions. You don't believe? That's fine. Hold it against you. You never had any experiences? That's fine. We don't hold it against you. Some of us have been dealing with it since we were young, and
crib.
And again, we don't judge. I think is the word I'm looking for.
Actually, I think we appreciate skeptics.
We have two skeptics on the team for that reason.
Because if we're like, oh, it's all this, he's like, well, are you sure? It could just be this. And we're like, he's right. Damn good.
Yeah, it's honest. Because you sometimes you get that you want to find something, and he's the one that will remind us, hey, this is probably what this is.
Oh, hey, Jen, can you move a little closer to your microphone? Where I see your little circle light up, but then it's hard to hear you.
Okay, no problem. Sorry.
Okay, nope, no big deal. Thank you. I just want to hear what you're saying. So
sure.
Yeah. So, how many total members are there on the team?
1, 2. Hold on.
She's counting. I think there's 15.
There's including us all of the associate members. There's 20.
Okay.
No, because actually we're in possibly 22 depending on applications right now.
Well, the tentative ones we won't call yet because we haven't even done the interviews.
Yeah.
So we can't count them. So we'll say around 20. But not everybody goes to investigations. Not everybody is involved there. Some people just do review of evidence. Some people just do the research.
We have 5 to 7 actual investigators, depending if 2 of them are up in the area or not. Love you, Sandy and Todd. Not Sandy and Todd. Sandy and Dave. Sorry, Dave.
Well, Todd is also, but he's coming up late summer, early
He's the
fall.
once a year investigator
Yeah.
of the team. But a lot of them are researchers, they're evidence reviewers, they're people helping with the haunted house.
Yeah, we have a couple. That's all they do is haunted house.
Technical advisors.
Mm-hmm.
We have a few of those now since we're doing our own podcast, and we use a lot of tech now. That's really like, I don't know how this works. Here, hands it off.
Hi, Robin. Welcome to the chat. Sorry,
Hello,
I confused
Robin.
everybody by moving the show up an hour this week and next week. So, after that, it'll take another month to get them used to the regular time. But whatever.
It's all good. Change is good
It's all
once in a while. It kind of shakes things up a little bit.
Yep, it does. So, Robin, this is my new team. Robin is with my old team.
Oh, hi, Robin.
Hello, Robin.
Welcome.
This is my new team. The Adirondack Park Paranormal Society. So we're going to take a little break. We're going to have some pay some bills here, and we will be right back. And if anyone has any questions, please put them in the chat, and we will be more than happy to answer your questions.
Fire away.
Absolutely. More the better.
Ellie Weisensel's psychic medium is a medical intuitive that specializes as a body code practitioner. As an energy healer, Ellie offers additional services that allow her modalities to be intertwined with energetic healing. Within your subconscious lies information that knows everything about you and why you deal with specific conditions. The subconscious can be considered the blueprint to your entire body. With Ellie working physically with your subconscious mind, we detect what negative emotions are trapped and where they are stored within the body that is causing you your emotional and physical pain. This work is designed to remove imbalances and correct them energetically, getting to the root cause of why you have your condition, to help balance your body so it may heal itself. Your body is infinitely wise and wants to be in balance. The body code is not only gentle for humans, but it is also a gentle process to help animals. For more information, contact Ellie Weisensel at the website below.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. The time is 38 minutes past the hour. You are listening to... Thank you for being with us. I am here with members of the Adirondack Park Paranormal Society, of which I am also a member, I'm proud to say. We had such a great time this weekend doing the haunted house and hanging out. And this was really my first opportunity to get to know some of the team members, other than in the chat, which just goes so fast, I can't even keep up with it. So it just goes crazy fast. I know. I think everybody on the team has ADHD or something. I don't know, but I can't keep up with everybody. So.
Maybe that's our bond, really.
There might be a few of those with a touch of the ism.
A touch of the ism. Anyway, so we have Susie Elf, whose real name is Amy Lynn, and Jen here with us today. And if you have questions about how APS handles investigations, what does it take to join a paranormal team, or at least a really good paranormal team, pop the questions right in the chat and we will be answering them. Jen, you've been kind of quiet, sort of sitting back and letting the other two talk. And what do you have to add to what we've talked about so far, as like investigations and how you've learned to handle? Because is this your first paranormal team?
Yes, this is my very first team.
Okay. I've
had experiences my whole life. I just never really knew what they were or how to perceive them. And I've got to say, really changed my life. It opened up more possibilities than I ever could have imagined before.
Yeah.
It's a big part of my life.
Yeah.
For sure.
Most, yeah, and that's the way the rest of us feel too.
Yeah. Just spending time with this team has really been, they call themselves a family, and you'd swear they're all actually related.
No,
Well, we
some
are.
of them are.
Some of them are. But
You know, tragic things happen. She dragged me on,
Dragged her. Yeah. Mhm.
kicking and screaming all the way.
Yeah, sure. It was us trying to beat her away, more like it, but no, just stop the fighting.
and for those who weren't listening before, or who tuned in because I'm messing with the time of the show, so I'm messing with everybody's reality here. But I was referred to them by a place they investigated, and I was referred to them when I asked about. I went in to inquire about setting up a psychic fair at a hotel that's known to be haunted.
Mhm.
And
Definitely.
I was talking to the woman who was showing me around and all of that. And by the way, I still want to do one there because I think that is like the perfect place
Oh yeah.
for a psychic and wellness fair.
And that's
Absolutely.
another place that I mentioned about the train station. If you don't get anything there, you don't
No.
need to be in this
And
business.
if you
Yeah.
just want them to just say one name repeatedly, just bring her there. They all know her.
They do.
Yeah.
They remember me.
All the spirits know Susie because she used to work there.
Well, I respected them, and I acknowledged them multiple times.
Which is really, really cool. Yeah. So
But they
when
know
you're
Jen
doing
now too. At least the principal does. She'll always have a job there if she wants it.
Right.
In the afterlife.
You can hang out with the principal. When you pass on, we'll leave your ashes there. So you can
Like
hang out with the principal.
There you go. Yeah.
We'll just rub you into the limestone bricks.
Yes, and she's gonna have to stay in the basement though, because that's
Yeah.
where he stays.
Yeah. Hey, Jen, we can just say, I'm going on a paranormal investigation. If I don't come back, try EVP.
Can we get that on a shirt?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Write that down.
Write that down. Oh.
I actually stole that from a meme on Facebook, just so you know. I don't know who the original author is.
What'd you say? My brain literally just lost.
I said I got that from a meme on Facebook, and I don't know who the original author is.
No, the meme. I don't remember the meme.
She wants you to repeat the meme.
Oh, the meme. Okay. Yeah, I'm going on a paranormal investigation. If I don't come back, try EVP.
That's too funny.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's gonna have to be added to our next presentation. First, let me start off by saying,
Flat out stole it. Yeah. So I just want to tell you guys a little bit about the interview that I had with the apps management team. It was interesting. Huh? Minus Amy Lynn, because she wasn't there. But I was there on vacation in February because, where do you go on vacation in February where there's 3 times as much snow as you already have? That's where you go on vacation in February. At least
we
that's
had
where
a fun carnival in February.
That's when she
right,
came up.
because Saranac Lake has the winter carnival, and my husband and I go every year. We love it. So
It's a fun time.
because
Great way to
and we
break
go
up
for the
winter.
lawn
Unless you're in the
chair
marching
games,
band.
Shush.
It's not
We're
the fun.
talking over each other again, but it's all good. People will figure it out. So while I was there and I was talking to the people at the hotel about doing a fair there, apps came up in the conversation, and I wrote it on a business card. I wrote it down. As soon as I got back to my vacation rental, I looked you all up on Facebook, I believe it was. I looked at your Facebook page, and I sent Damon a message because he's the one who pops up, right? So I sent him a message.
He's actually our leader.
He's our founder.
He's our fearless leader, and
Rolling
he
his
kind of
eyes.
blew me off. Yeah, I'll be honest, he blew me off, and so like 15 minutes later, it was a very short span of time. I get a message from Susie. saying, I live near Saranac Lake. Can you come out to my house tomorrow and talk about this? Like, I was like,
Well, in reality, what he didn't blow you off. What he did, he called me. He said, "We got a gal in Saranac Lake. She seems interesting." She seems interesting. You want to go chat with her and see if this is legit, or we got another crazy?
Can I fit into both categories? That's just
Yes, that's okay. You check up.
See, we look for the crazies, but the ones that are vibe with us, not the ones that don't vibe with us.
Gotcha. You want the happy crazies, not the dangerous crazies. Yeah.
Yes.
So I show up at Susie's house. Never met her before. Never met any of these people before, actually. And within about 5 minutes, they're like, "Oh, she's already in. Just throw the application away."
Well, what you don't know is that after they met with you, they called me and it was like, "Amy Lynn, you wouldn't believe who we just
You're
met."
gonna love this new lady.
And I'm just like, huh? Me just waking up from a nap.
Don't even know which dimension you're in yet.
We don't care. We call. She has to be awake. End of conversation. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, we're gonna love this lady. She's not on the team yet, but she's gonna be. We're gonna make sure of it. I was like, you gonna drag her kicking and screaming like you did me?
Yes. No, she's coming voluntarily.
I did. I came in voluntarily.
She really wasn't sure what she was in for, but she came voluntarily nonetheless.
Well, they kept giving me warnings. I probably should have paid attention to that.
We warned you. When you sign the application, it's like signing your life away. But it's all good.
You signed into a family pact.
Yeah. Well, I met with Susie and Jen and Damon, and we all hit it off. I mean, like, how long did we talk? Like 3 hours or something?
Yeah. It ran much longer than we had planned, but it was good. It was a good conversation. You were a good yeah, exactly. And you were a good interviewee because we were throwing questions at you and you were handling them fine, which is kind of why I won't say we gang up on people.
Oh, yeah, you totally gang up on people. Yeah.
But we want to make sure that you can handle the rest of the crew. And if you can handle the three of us, you're fine. And like I said, we were asking you questions, you were asking us questions. And we were all on the same page as far as our views on the paranormal, our views on helping people, our views on
ethics.
That
was the big thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
for me,
and this has always been our issue. Like I said, there's a lot of them out there, and we don't. We always tell them, you want to start a paranormal team? That's fine. Come on in. The water's warm. Well, cold actually, but it's the same idea. Yeah, and if you want to do something that's not very ethical, or you want to travel on properties that you don't have permission to travel on, fine, you're on your own. You are not a part of us. That's
right. Robin commented, "Of course you all hit it off. You sound a little crazy. LOL." Now again, Robin is on my old team.
So she knows personally.
For a very long time.
Yeah.
So we got confirmation.
So we should have talked to her first.
We should have.
Yeah. Not that it would have changed her mind, but we should have talked to her first.
Did you check any of my references? I mean, seriously.
No. Well, here's the thing. If the three of us can come to an agreement, and we're not afraid to say to each other, if somebody likes that one, well, you know what, my I call it my radar. The vibe was just not there, or there's something about them that's a little iffy. But the three of us all got the same thing. All were thinking the same way. So yeah, it was kind of a given.
Yeah, and I'm really honored that you brought me into your team, because I feel like I have found people who really jive with the way that I feel it should be done, and you do it with respect for. I'm just going to use the word people, I guess, on both sides.
Yeah,
the living and the crossed over, and
absolutely.
To me, that's huge, because I have seen groups who are not respectful to those on the other side.
See, that's something we have always been, like, one of the biggest things is having respect for the past, and for the ones who are no longer living but are living in their own little way. For entities that aren't even used to be people, it's still, you got to give respect to everything that you meet. Because if you don't treat it with respect, it can come out to bite you in your own butt.
It's the spirits, it's the entities, whether they're residual or otherwise, or intelligent. It's the location. A lot of these places we go to are historic locations. And we all love history. We all like to be able to share that with other people. And if we can turn that into an investigation and get more information and share that with, whether it's the owners or it's the board that run a historic foundation or whatever, that's really our ultimate goal, is to educate.
Yeah. And thank you, Frankie, for the beautiful rendition there of the jingle of the tag.
Frankie is the dog, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. That's
she really likes to be the center of attention, and when she's not, she wants to make herself known.
Now I lost what I was going to say. Hold on.
We're trying.
Respect for the locations is what we were talking about.
No, the words are still not there.
And that's the other thing. When we come to a location, we don't, unless we get prior approval. I mean, we can do an investigation. We talk to the owner. If they don't want us to make it public, it's not public. Nobody will ever know that we've ever been there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we have those situations. And there are those that say, no, please talk about it, like the Hotel Saranac. Mm-hmm. They want that information out there. So, okay, then we will use it. And we will talk to anybody who wants to hear about it. And we'll do presentations on it. No issues there. But we have other people that say, we want you here, but we'll keep it in our little circle.
Okay. And even we've had people who we want you to talk about it, but then later on say, hey, actually no, and we always respect that.
Yeah.
Even though we had I think we did a tour for one of them, and they was after the tour they didn't want us to talk about it.
They ended up with a new board of directors. A lot of heads had changed on the board, and the new board was not as comfortable with it as the old board was. So we took it off our website. And not because they didn't like our results, but because of the I'm missing the word. People have a preconceived notions about paranormal investigators because there's a lot of bad ones out there. Bad is the wrong word. Disrespectful ones out there.
Right.
And so it dirties the field. So when you do have those that are respectful, that have ethics, we're few and far between.
Right. And the same thing kicks out there that just are not in integrity, or you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's is this snake oil stuff, and that's the kind of stuff that I like what you guys do, and that's why I wanted to join you, because you're not out there peddling snake oil. You're not out there making things up, and you're not, it's not about a big show on TikTok or YouTube or whatever. This is about serving the community and helping people understand what's happening in their own environment. And
and getting them comfortable if they do have an entity in their house. But I'll use my house, for example. There's stuff going on in this house all the time. I know they're there. We just kind of accept it and we move on. Sometimes I acknowledge it, sometimes I don't. And this is kind of the idea that I would like some of the homeowners to get. If it's not hurting you, they live here too. This is part of their life. If they don't want to leave, there must be a reason for it. Maybe they're comfortable here. And maybe they're comfortable with you guys. Maybe it's a family member. And if we can find out, great. If we can't, we'll know before we leave most of the time. What kind of entity it is.
Yeah. And the thing that I also really like as we went through that first conversation is that you guys actually communicate with whatever is there and work to help both sides be comfortable.
And we use different forms of communication. It's not just electronic equipment. We do use pendulums. We do use dowsing rods. And those that want to try to use it, we also educate within our own team.
Yeah.
And
Right.
yes, we will go as far as doing a seance. But that's a very, very controlled situation.
We always have someone on the outside controlling the environment around them, because I'm usually the outside person, along with our fearless leader Damon, because he'll block. He's a wall, so it doesn't work anyways. And so we're always making sure that they know what's going on. If we need to pull them out, we'll pull them out, because their safety is a priority.
Yeah,
100%.
And we've had situations where we had to pull team members off investigations because either it got too emotional, or they were uncomfortable. Okay, you're uncomfortable. Come on out.
All right, ladies, we are going to continue this conversation on the next show because we need a little bit of time to do the flip over. Nikki, Robin, Sylvia, Lisa, Jessica, if you wanted to join us on the paranormal room or in the paranormal room, we will be bringing that up in about 4 minutes. And we are going to have the apps team on there too with a couple more members because Sarah just texted me that she and Brett are backstage. So
yay! Perfect.
So we will see you all in a few minutes if you would like to join us in the paranormal room. Until next week, thanks, guys. We'll see
Thank you for coming.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.